All right, I thought about it, and I didn't know if I wanted to open up that can of worms on YouTube, but kept in the question. So I thought about it. Hey, let's do it. Should you use ABO or should you use CBO with Facebook ads in 2024? So with that being said, let's open that can of worms that you guys been looking at. I've been an ABO guy for a portion of my life. I've been a CBO guy for a portion of my life. And which one do I prefer? And that is CBO. Now, I want to take you through my kind of mental journey or my journey that I've had with ABO and CBO, so that way you can understand why I choose CBO. Because you go look back at videos I made in 2022, 2021, 2020, I was specifically focused on here's why I love ABO over CBO. Now, as I evolve as a marketer and I spend more month over month inside my agency for my clients, I've changed positions on that side, and I want to talk to you about those positions. So let's just start off with why most people go to ABO over CBO. The biggest thing is always testing. Hey, if I test new creatives, I prefer to do ABO, so that way I can force budgets each new creative I launch. I can do a new ad set, toss some new creatives, force some budget on it, and test those. And then typically what will happen is you'll move it to like a CBO if those creatives are winners. Now, again, I'm not knocking that strategy. I personally used to use that strategy. I have videos documenting that strategy on YouTube, like been about it. But again, as you grow, as you evolve as a marketer, old things that you used to do and used to love don't carry you to that next level. And sometimes you have to strip habits to get to that next level. And that was one of the habits I had to strip. Now, I remember this pretty clear. I went to Nashville in like 2022. I sat down with one of my buddies having a cigar, and we were talking about like ABO and CBO and stuff like that. And something I was struggling with was I was finding a lot of winners in an ABO, right? Like I launched a new set of creatives, $20 a day. I'd find a winner with a particular ad set, and then I'd carry that over to my CBO that was spending like $2,000 a day. And then I kept getting pissed because I'd find these winning ads on like a $20, $30 a day budget, and I'd bring it to this $1,000, $2,000 a day campaign, and these ads would just never take off. And I just kept getting frustrated. I kept getting aggravated because it's like, there are winners. Why are they not spending? So then I would start like doing some stupid shit, like uploading to a new campaign and trying to scale that. And just, it was creating a lot of inconsistencies in the ad accounts. Now, the reason why I had a shift was that I learned, hey, if you find a winning ad in an ABO, like $20 a day, and you carry that over to a CBO spending $2,000 or $3,000 a day and it doesn't spin, well, there's a couple reasons why. Number one, when you're running ads $20, $30 a day, very small portion, maybe 1 to 10% of the total spend in the account for testing, all Facebook is optimized for is to get you purchases or whatever you're optimized for. Purchases, legion, book calls, whatever. But let's just say it's just purchases as opposed to you guys for e-com people. So if it's optimized for purchases, its whole goal is to get you purchases. So $20, $30 a day, all it's doing is going after very low hanging fruit. That's it. So people that are already seeing a lot of your other ads in your $2,000 or $3,000 a day campaign, and then these little ads are just simply catching these little people. Boom, boom. And it's making your ads look substantially better. Now, the problem here is that because these ads caught a lot of low hanging fruit, and they look good, and then you bring it over to that $2,000 or $3,000 a day campaign, even if it's like $200 a day. I'm just using $2,000 or $3,000 because typically we work with brands that are doing anywhere between $1,000 to $10,000 a day in ad spend. What'll happen here is that they're kind of put with the big dogs, right? Like they won, it's like they won at a low level, but then when you bring them to the high level, they just cannot compete. And what happened there was I had to change my perception of what a winning ad was. I used to believe an ad with a really good ROAS was a winning ad, and that's false. Now, a winning ad in my textbook is something that gets all of the spend in the ad account and either positively influences CPA to where we can spend more. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for an ad that gets all the spin, and I can either spend more now in that ad account or stabilize performance and just increase performance at that level right there. That's what a winning ad in my book is now. Before, a winning ad was just simply something that got a good ROAS. And that's one of the beliefs I had to remove out my life in order to be able to go to that next level. So instead of now, I used to be looking for ads that basically improve performance from the account by 5 to 10%. Now I'm looking for ads that improve performance by 100 to 200% inside of an ad account. That's the ads I'm looking for. And I get those questions a lot. Well, Nick, how can you run so many like ads in one CBO? You'll just have a ton of ads that are just doing really good. I'm like, no, actually no, because winning ad, I don't find one of those every day. I find those maybe once a month for a client. But when I do, it almost doubles or triples their business. So think about that. That's like 12 winning ads a year. We're doubling the business every time. That's creating a large impact in performance. So long story short, ABO, when you're doing that testing theory right there, you're just testing low-hanging fruit, carrying it over, and when it's time to compete with all the other ads, they're failing miserably. So that's also another reason why I switched over to full CBO. So that way when I launch a new ad set inside of a CBO, and then I'm just simply looking, hey, will this ad set take all the spin in that campaign? If not, after 3 to 7 days, I turn it off and I'll launch my next round of DCTs. Keep it very simple in that. And that's my metric for success, is what gets majority of spin, and the CPA for the account increases or decreases. If CPA decreases, that's a winning ad. If it increases, that's a losing ad. Lower the CPA, the better. You can also look at it from a ROAS perspective too if you want. Nothing wrong with that at all, but I'll look at it from a CPA perspective. So that's why I choose CBO. Now, I get some people that say, hey, Nick, well, I launched my ads in a CBO and maybe it didn't really get any spin, right? I ran it for 3 to 7 days, didn't really get any spin. What should I do? Look, number one, you can toss a $5 a day minimum budget on it if you want. Like if it's truly $0 for 3 days or like 2 cents for 3 days, then sure, throw like $5 on it. Nothing wrong with that. But if it spins the minimum every day, you going to put more money on that, it's just going to blow more money of your account. Like if I spend $500 creating some creatives, put them inside the ad account, they don't spend for 3 days, I put like a minimum spend of $5 a day on it, it spends like 3 more days, $15 now. Now I'm down $515 on this creative. I should just turn it off because it's a clear sign Facebook doesn't want to spend on it. It's not performing. But instead, I toss in another campaign. I go toss $200-$300 a day on this particular creatives because I'm so emotionally tied to them. Now I spend $200-$300 a day at a loss for 3 days. Now I'm down like $900 in ad spend plus the $500 I paid for it. Now I'm down like $1,400 on these creatives versus just listening to Facebook that, hey, these creatives were not good. They weren't the things that I should push. They weren't helping performance. They weren't grabbing people's attention. We will see that majority of the creatives that take overall spin are more engaging. They're going to get more likes, comments, shares, and things like that. And that's because Facebook has to do 2 things. It has to entertain its customers, the prospects, the users of Facebook, and then it also needs to make money by getting us to spend more. So that's why I trust Facebook that, hey, whatever's going to convert the best is going to get more engagement. It's going to likely get more spin. And that for me is doing 2 things. It's rewarding us because now that's getting more spin. It's likely also going to get a decent CPA. We will have sometimes where we'll get a lot of spin, but it doesn't get a great CPA, and we turn that off. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. And for me, that just means, hey, we made it too engaging and people just simply didn't realize the idea that there was being something sold here, right? So that's the other thing. If we have a lot of ads though, it's not getting spin, we look at it as our fault. We're creating bad ads. What do we need to do to improve these ads to make them better? And that's what we look at next. So yeah, that's what we do when we launch new DCTs and stuff like that in CBO. Kind of why we don't really have that belief anymore if we need to force spin to things because it just makes you burn more money. And then lastly, why we don't use ABO anymore, because we're just simply finding a lot of low-hanging fruits. Last thing, there's also that auction overlap, right? If you have a lot of different ad sets in this ABO and like different campaigns and stuff like that, different campaigns can compete against each other and different ad sets in that same campaign compete against each other. CBO, even though if I have like 5 ad sets in that CBO, they're not competing against each other because that CBO can spin freely between those ad sets. It can spend all the money it wants on one ad set. It could spend the money distributed between a few different ad sets. It doesn't have to be just in one. So I trust that CBO to spin based off what's going to get the best results at scale. And yeah, that's what we do. That's why I love it. I also love the idea of being able to just toss in some ad creatives, let it run for a week. I don't really have to pay attention to that ad account, and it's going to either get a lot of spin and crush or won't really get any spin, and I'll just swap some new ones in. I do not and will not get emotionally tied to creatives though, because that's where a lot of people fuck up at. So that's why I like to use CBO. That's why I don't really use ABO anymore in 2024. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you're interested in me running your Facebook ads, I help brands scale from 6 figures to 7 figures. I've helped 4 brands now scale from 2 7 figures per month. Let me be clear on that, per month, and love to help you be the next one. So click link below, have Nick Theriot run your Facebook ads. And if you're interested in me mentoring you, click link below, Nick Theriot mentor you. And if you're looking for an intermediate to advanced Facebook ads course, click link below to Nick's Facebook ads course. Thank you all so much for watching. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Peace out.